Hey everyone, Divya here, your mind coach. Yeah, so the current pandemic which we are going through, the concerns which is currently bothering most people, I think is the employment issues, the fear of losing jobs, financial constraints, and I think the sector or the people who are most affected now are the small business owners, daily wage laborers, the vendors. So I think we have come to a point where they're also facing a lot of difficulty in catering to the basic necessities and needs. And I think this is where we as a community can come together. Community can come together and help people around us with whatever little we can. Uh, it only not is about giving them things, offering food materials, but also even if it is something as simple as being there for them, just listening to what they are going through, giving them moral support, listening, attend, a caring, uh, a simple act of just listening out to the problems which they are going through. Or there are people around who don't have access to the governmental policies, or whatever the government has introduced new rules and laws to be able to accommodate these daily wage laborers. So if there is anyone around you, you can also just get them informed that there are some policies and laws which the government has come up with, and then they can take advantage of it. I think in this context, the most affected are also the small business owners. So today's rant is dedicated to them. I just thought I'll bring up perspectives so that we people can understand each other, from be it it's not just as a client and business relationship, but also as understanding another human being, especially in this social media age where we are living. We're also often engaged in trolling other people, and then criticizing, and then feeling jealous about why somebody is having a good growth. When I say good growth, it's like the organic reach they have. Thousands of followers, a lakh followers, and then we simply end up commenting, it's easy. Say for example, he's an actress, it's easy for them. So instead of coming to such lame conclusions, so we also have to understand that there is a lot of work people put in. So behind what you see, what you see is just the content, but behind what you don't see is all the hard work which people are putting into this. So I think from this perspective, because I am also a small business owner, I'm an entrepreneur, I have had my fair share of understanding, because I have been in that place, and then I have also been through those specific times when I felt angst. It's like you get irritated. And yeah, I definitely don't want to sound across very diplomatic, and then or to please people here. I really want to be honest and share how it feels. Yes, so it actually, I've had this beautiful experience with so many people, having thousands of followers, and very people who actually turn up to read my posts and articles day in and day out and engage on my content. But their messages makes me super happy. But then on the perspective again here, what there comes to a point where I also started understanding how much money is important, especially when you are solely dependent on your business and you don't have any other source of income. So for example, initially when I was working as an employee, and I was getting regular monthly salary, it was easy for me. So whoever is to approach me, to everybody has to give free analysis, free counseling, do whatever bit I could. There are times when a lot of nights I used to be busy in phone calls, okay, I'm not sleeping on time because there was somebody in need, they wanted to talk to me, and then I went out and all that. After a certain point, I think that is when I started realizing that, okay, whatever is given free, firstly it's not valued, and then people don't take it seriously. I mean, how many free courses do you attend and then not get value? Because it's not that what the person taught was not appropriate, it's only because you didn't whatever they taught, you didn't inculcate in your life, and then you didn't work upon it. That's why you didn't get the results. Correct. Especially, say for example, you have paid a sum of certain amount of money to the gym. You make sure, oh, I have paid money, I will at least go and attend regularly. Otherwise it's like, oh, it's okay, today one day I can be a couch potato, and then let's see from tomorrow. So this is exactly the attitude about how, you know, the results are much faster or good when it comes to paid coaching. So often what we encounter is people have this kind of an hesitation to pay small businesses. So for example, when we go and purchase in a mall, do some shopping, we spend thousands and thousands and we don't bother. Like we go to a movie and then we watch a movie and then like so much for the popcorn and the coffee, everything. But then if you're buying vegetables or fruits from the street vendor, we're like, little less. Yeah, we all have done that. So I think you all can relate to that. So the same happens when people approach to us also. Why so costly? Can you reduce it? And so many times it is like, okay, I'm going through problems, I don't have a job, I have this problem, I have that problem. Although so many times I want to relate to this, sometimes it becomes like, I have wondered, are people playing the victim card? It's like, see, there's one particular thing we all need to understand, that we all go through difficulties in life. You know, it's about owning up to our life and taking responsibility. So if you really want somebody to be helping you out, it's like you can't start negotiating so badly, you know, like, and not question their whole integrity. So I obviously, so many times I get these messages, people telling me, you know, for the sake of humanity, do it for free and all that. And I wonder how many of these people would have done anything so-called charity, whatever you want to put into that category. I don't know what they would have done. And especially you should understand, if somebody is there in the healthcare sector, wellness industry, we are here because we are passionate about people, we want to help people. It's not that it's about money for us. And then after putting so much of years and getting that experience, and if you still expect we will sit and be counseling everybody for free, I think it's not happening. Because I think obviously we are putting out so much of value in the form of content which we post regularly, which doesn't happen just like that. You know, we're putting so much of efforts and time into that, to, you know, like, to use our creativity to come up with a lot of posts and edit them and then put it out everywhere, engage on the comments, and see to it that if there is anything we can guide with and then help with, or connect you to the right kind of people. And there's obviously so much of effort we're putting into that. And in spite of, because so many people have told me that my articles only have helped them a lot, or my posts have helped them a lot, and then I know how it works. So because I have had that real testimonials, hundreds and hundreds of them. So even after all that, I think if you have understood that you need help from a next level, that is one-on-one coaching, on mentoring, I think in that case it is really weird when you want them to offer you free counseling, free coaching and all that. Because I think, see, there are some times when people approach me, you know, they're like, I'm a big fan of you, I want to talk to you. And I'm like, okay. And we talk, and midway through the conversation they tell their problems, and usually I'm not this very money-minded person. I answer them, and then everything happens, and I'm like, oh, look at it, it was a nice strategy or technique you used to just get a free counseling from me. Because this has happened because I've confronted people, and then I've had you know, like, concerns with them, like, why did you have to do that? Now, okay, now you say your problem was solved, now pay. So this is where it gets real nasty sometimes, seriously nasty. Why? Because I have had people where there are occasions when people, you know, they call, okay, and then they talk, and then I've answered all their questions, because obviously the call would have gone for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and then they say, okay, we'll come back for a paid session, and that doesn't happen. And then after 2 years they'll call again, by which time I would have forgotten their name, and again I'm answering all their queries. And then I understand, when I read the old messages and text exchanged, then I'm like, oh, okay. So this is the same person. Every time he's showing up for my free suggestions, and they act like, oh, okay, see, we just wanted to know the details, we're again coming back for a paid session. So this is where it gets really disgusting. I have lost interest for so many people, like because these are the people who have good jobs, you know, they have these fancy titles, and I'm like, if your integrity is not intact, I feel then it's not worth it. Like whatever titles you have or anything, you know, it's just a matter of, see, if you feel that that money has no value, I mean, you people give us so much of gyan on that, you know, why are you so money minded and all that, you can help us and all that. So why are you so money minded that you want a value from the other person, but you still don't want to pay? So just, this is not from my own perspective. I think many people who are from similar industries and verticals, they would echo what I am saying. Artists and a lot of business owners, you know, like who are so passionate about what they do, they love what they do, and then they have been trying their best and putting in all efforts to give the best to you. I think it's high time we understand the effort which goes behind the value which you get. It's not just the effort, you know. It's so, when we talk about passion, you know, especially even me, I'm working day and night. We put writing, we editing, and because we love doing this. It's not that anybody is doing anybody a favor. See, I totally understand. It's like a symbiotic relationship. We do it to help each other, correct, and we are dependent on each other. Okay, so that's where I think that dependency should be on solid structures of empathy, respect, care, compassion towards each other. It should not become one way that, you know, we are expecting and then we're not ready to give back anything in return. So ultimately it's about energy exchange. It's not about the money, because I think recently I spoke about it. It's like there was an age where healers of a village or a community, you know, they were taken care by the village and the community would cater to all their needs. I think we no more exist in that kind of a society. So here anybody who is a service provider, they have bills to pay, they have their own specific needs, they have their own challenges, they have bills to pay, they have to they have dreams like you. Yeah, so high time we understand this, and then let's not have fussy conversations around that. And then it's really gets irritated when I see those messages in my inbox, for the sake of humanity, do a free session. And I understand, most of the times I understand, and I have offered whenever, like I understand what the person is going through. I often tell them, okay, you can pay me in installments. Again, I'm giving you some concession of concession and all that I offer, because money is still not the first priority. But then again, it's like, it should not be that, you know, you simply want to take advantage of because you don't want to pay, and then you want to see how far can you go in getting that freebie. So this is something I really wanted everybody to think about, that there are a lot of businesses around you, especially when the business owner has a family dependent on them. You know, it's going to get difficult for them. They have they have to, like they would be entirely dependent on the income they get from their business to take care of their family. In that such cases, it's going to be really difficult for them. So please understand, and if you have any such businesses around you, try to support them, buy from them, refer their services to other people. And obviously, if you have got value, especially I think for psychologists, we have the biggest challenges. People don't give us testimonials. Like I get plenty in my inbox, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them, but nobody writes on a profile because they don't want, again, this taboo is there, right? What if people get to know that I went to a psychologist? How will I be judged? And that's still there. So we still don't understand that, okay, that's just that I wanted to improve, and then I'm taking help from a person who knows about it. It's not like I'm superior, you are inferior, or anything else. So you want to tone your body, you go to a coach. So just like you want to tone your mind or work around with your mind, you're coming to a coach. So there is nothing taboo, like to have about it. I think there came a point when everybody was stressing that if you have to grow, you need to have testimonials, and then I didn't have any other option. So I just started sharing my own screenshots. I erased the name and the identity of the individual, and then I use them because we have no choice. Like if people are not ready to write testimonials to us, we have no choice, because again, it's survival for us. Or I should just leave everything and then go and get into an industry which will take care of me, I think. But if everybody does this, again, it's going to be a problem, because we talk about the fact that there are very few psychologists in our country, and then there is the problem, and there are so many people who are not able to have access to them, and so many such things. But the problem is that whoever is a trained psychologist, they are not being channelized, or they are not being made the work is not scheduled well, or there are no governmental policies, or there are no such thing which is taking care of the psychologist. So I feel a lot of budding psychologists still have trouble, and so much of insecurity around how their career is going to turn up. So this is where I think we all have to understand that, okay, we again have this understanding now that, okay, they are inevitable, their services is needed. So it's like, again, standing up for one another in all aspects. So it's just like live and let live. So done, enough. I think this is something I think I really wanted to it's just that there are times, I think every time we should be able to understand one another, but during this crucial time, again, try to be a bit more empathetic. Empathy, in the sense, it's not sympathy, it's a lot different from sympathy. Empathy is putting yourself in other person's shoes and trying to understand how does it work, or what can I really do for them, instead of being just concerned. So just let's stand up for one another, be united, let's help each other. And then if there is anything, obviously I've announced free batches. I can counsel, I can answer your advices and queries, and only if the participation is there. So from here, my side, I'm ready to stand up to the situation and help provide support to anyone who is definitely struggling to ask help only because of the money matters. I don't really want them to not be able to take help only because they don't have money. Okay, so I am ready to accommodate all of you. It's only that you need to do your part. So like I said, if you really want me to have those group coaching, free coaching, help me facilitate the same for you all. And if there's anything specific content you want me to write or come make videos about, I'm definitely ready to accommodate that as well. And obviously I'm also planning to teach some online paid courses, specific courses, again also based on the need. Thank you.